Organizations today are using AI in a whole bunch of different ways. They're using it to help with customer service. They're using it to drive operational efficiencies, and they're using it to improve their decision making at all levels. Today, we're going to talk about how you can identify an opportunity to use AI within your organization, as well as building a compelling business case for an AI project. So let's go. Okay, welcome back. Thanks again for all your support. Like the videos, comment on the videos, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. I'm really hoping this provides a ton of value to you and your organization on how to get started with AI. So as I mentioned in the start, we're going to talk about how do you identify those AI opportunities and how do you build value around it? How do you make sure that you're not going to lose money on that project? So getting started, how do you identify a business problem that AI can solve? We look at customer service, and these aren't your grandpa's chatbots, right? To use a cheesy phrase. Today's chatbots are much more intelligent. They give much better answers. They are significantly stronger in their ability to help your organization internally. You think of like IT chatbots and HR chatbots, as well as helping your customers to get a better experience working with your organization. They also can detect things like sentiment analysis. Your customers are frustrated, they're unhappy, or they're really happy. AI can help with those things and help you to address those issues before they become bigger issues affecting more customers and you start to lose customers. And they can also help with automated data entry. So if you need to capture images or video or audio or data to be able to translate into collecting data into one place to then later be used somewhere else with analysis and whatnot, AI is really helpful in those areas. Now, when we look at operational efficiencies, things like predictive maintenance, which is a huge cost to many, many organizations, can be driven dramatically by implementing predictive maintenance systems to help with things like repairing machines before they're going to break, understanding the lifespan of various things, from things to major manufacturing equipment, all the way down to simple printers within your organization. Downtime costs us money. Using predictive maintenance helps you reduce those costs. Supply chain is a big area where AI is really helping. You want to avoid stockouts. You want to help ensure that you deliver to your customers on time. Well, how do you do that? You need to make sure you have the right materials to do so, except that if you stick with the same supplier and they have the same lead time that does not match what you need for your customer, maybe you have to look elsewhere. Maybe there's some analysis on getting the product quicker, but it costing you more and probably being worth that cost. These are things that we need to think about. Also, when we start to look at things like decision making, data-driven insights are massively helpful at all levels, except that it can be very time consuming. You talk to any business intelligence developers, you talk to any data engineers, and they've got work to do for months and years in order to keep up with the business. Well, with AI, we can start to pull that data out much quicker. We can help with bringing together our data-driven insights in a very fast manner. Now, are they going to be perfect? Probably not out of the gate, but it gives you a starting point and it helps save a tremendous amount of time that it would normally take an analyst to pull all that information together, do the data thrashing, as I like to call it, and really grab those insights. You look at things like risk management. AI can help detect something happening on the shop floor where somebody is being unsafe. They're not wearing proper equipment like goggles or hard hats and those types of things. AI can also help with risk management internally. You know, is a user suddenly grabbing lots of data from various systems and sending it to, Dropbox or somewhere else. And you look at things like financial forecasting and the risks that can be there, or on the other hand, opportunities that could be there. When you think about how do we forecast out further? We've had the straight line forecasting forever, right? But this goes far beyond that as you get to bring in a lot more data, you get to bring in a lot more parameters. You're not focusing on what can Excel do, but how can you use all of these AI tools to be able to bring all this data together and make a more sound forecast. Then when we start looking at things like assessing whether or not your organization is ready for AI, we first start with the culture. Can your culture change with this disruption? Are your user base able to support the tools? Whether you buy something or you build something, it may be determined based on whether the organization can absorb that change and whether the people that you have are able to change their mindset and not be concerned about AI replacing them in their jobs. Next, we have to look at your data maturity. We have that option where if you have troves of data that is very valuable and you can analyze it because it's in a tabular format, great. Go ahead and do that. And that's going to be quick and easy. But when we look at organizations that have over 80% of their data being in dark locations, in things like unstructured data sources, movies, audio, images, documents, all of this stuff that can't be easily tabulated and organized. AI is great for that type of stuff. It can do converting of data. It can do extracting of information from data. There's a tremendous amount of opportunity there. And then on top of that, you look at how you can use other tools like, say, cognitive services, cognitive search, where you can pull all of that information out of your data using things like named entity recognition, summarization, sentiment analysis, all these types of things that are just going to help your organization. If your data isn't in a place where you feel as though you're going to get accurate results using AI, you can use some of these pre-trained models and load some of your business, terminology or data on top of them. But it's going to vary depending on that data, what you're using, and what those results will look like. Finally, when we look at the infrastructure of our systems, do you have GPUs to support massive data models? Do you have overall infrastructure, servers, networking, and just people, right, to help support any type of initiative? That's going to be a big factor. And so maybe you got to use the cloud. Maybe you have to buy a product versus build a product. That's always a decision point that you need to think about, because it may cost you more out of the box to buy a product, but it may give you a faster return. However, buyer beware, right? There are a lot of AI companies that are popping up out of nowhere and they're selling vaporware. The product simply doesn't work. You need to make sure that you do thorough testing, you use live use cases, you build a proof of concept, and you have to push these organizations. You can't be wowed by the fancy graphics and dashboards and all that stuff until you know that it's real and it works. Unfortunately, this happens to far too many customers. Now, when we start talking about how to build a value proposition around what you want to deploy to be able to make that business case, you need to ensure that you're aligning any of these AI initiatives with your business objectives, with those longer term goals, 12, 24, 60 months out, right? You need to align what you're doing for your senior leadership team and all the way down through the organization to ensure that you are supporting that strategy. And this isn't just a one-off project, because it probably isn't going to get the value and it's probably not going to get the backing and may cause some issues for your career. Then you look at the cost-benefit analysis. We talked about build versus buy, but there are a lot of costs associated with it. You look at the development costs, you look at implementation costs, training of your individuals, where the anticipated benefits, things like cost savings, revenue growth, and efficiency gains, you have to really figure out, is it worth it, right? Build that value proposition. You can do so by doing a ROI and a TCO analysis to help you strengthen your case for building one of these projects. When we look at the return on investment, we have to create metrics to measure the financial gain from any of these AI investments relative to their cost and how long it's going to take to earn back the money that you've spent on this project. And it's not simple dollars and cents. When you look at the total cost of ownership, we talked about training, we talked about infrastructure, you have to look at a comprehensive assessment of all the costs that are related to this solution over its entire life cycle. We look at how long technology rolls over these days. It is becoming less and less that products are efficient. 2 years ago, this explosion of AI was in a very, very significantly less state than it is today. You look at the advent of things like ChatGPT, OpenAI's GPT 3.5 model, which was 1.5 terabytes of data, hundreds of thousands of GPUs, hundreds of $1 million invested in building that model. Now it's coming down quite a bit. You're starting to see things like small language models. There are a lot of competition out there which will also drive down the prices for both consumers and organizations. But all of that needs to be factored in. How long is this product really going to work within your organization? Now, I talk a lot about TCO and ROI in our book. You can find that on Amazon. Just search for me and you'll find it right away. We spend a lot of time on that analysis because it is so important. We walk you through step by step how to actually do that analysis. So anyway, I really hope this video series is helpful. I enjoy hearing from everybody. I love the feedback that I'm getting on social, within the channel. Please keep it up. Please continue to tell us what we can do better. Tell us what is important to you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. And otherwise, I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.